This show just keeps surprising me in the best ways. Peacemaker, penultimate episode. Man, yeah, there's spoilers. You should know this. Geez, this far into the series? Ha! So, boy, this is just doing such good work at having an examination of incredibly toxic people, especially in this case, Peacemaker himself and his dad, and being very careful about who has any shot at any level of redemption open to them and what it is or is not letting them off the hook for. So, what I mean by that, the hints that we had gotten up to this point about the death of Peacemaker's brother, which we didn't know specifically what happened, but like the little glimpses we got, we knew Chris was there. We knew he was involved. It did look to me in a way that like Chris had hit him, so maybe they had gotten into a fight. And what we find out this episode is, yeah, it was a fight, but it was a fight that their dad orchestrated so that there could be betting on the results. So, did he kill his brother? Yeah, technically, but for the age he was, it wasn't really his fault for the situation he was put in. But here's what I mean about this show being very careful about what it does or doesn't let characters off the hook for. Because when adult Chris, when Peacemaker has a face-to-face with his father, and that is brought up, the death of his brother, and, just all the horrible things that Chris has done. Chris, he's not letting himself off the hook for anything. He's very upfront. Yes, I'm a terrible person. Yes, I'm all these horrible things, but you are worse. But that admission, that reminder that his coming to terms with his father's culpability in his brother's death is not about forgiving himself for every wrong thing he's ever done, which is the kind of overstepping thing that a lot of things have a tendency to do. No, it's like, this is going to be a form of closure for that only, because there was so much stuff that he did in the wake of that were still things he did by his choice. And he is not letting himself off the hook for that, which means the show is not letting him off the hook for that, which is perfect. It is what you have to do if you're going to take a character like Peacemaker and try and make them sympathetic. It's so hard. It's so hard to take a character with his background, with his issues, with his violent inclinations, and with his cavalcade of misunderstandings of the world, and make them relatable and human without also absolving them of their sins and making it seem like it wasn't that bad or it's okay now. It totally isn't. He's working on getting better, but that will never erase what he has done up to this point, and he knows that, and boy, oh boy, does James Gunn know that. Like, if there was ever going to be a director working right now who has the ability and the experience to know that and tell that story well, this is such a good match of creator to material. It's just, yes. And I made a call last time about what I thought was going to happen with the White Dragon. It isn't what happened with the White Dragon, which is good because this is better. This is so much better. Not even giving him even a tangential side kind of heroic moment where like he's useful for the purposes of fighting the butterflies, but then we deal with them. No. He doesn't even get that kind of glory. He is just going to spend his time trying to kill his own kid and get shot in the head. The hesitation from Peacemaker to shoot his dad with a German Luger of all things. That hesitation needed to be there because if he'd done it quickly, there's the possibility it might have just been instinctive and he hadn't really thought about it. And if he had decided not to do it and or somebody else had done it for him, you would wonder, has he really moved to the point where he's prepared to leave that part and kill and bury that part of his history, which he kind of needs to be. Like, no, we're going to have the pause. And whether or not he is doubting himself, I think that's up to viewer interpretation. But he is thinking about it. He's not acting on instinct. He makes a choice to kill his father, who is unequivocally the worst human being in a show populated with almost nothing except terrible human beings. Right in the head. That was exactly what needed to happen. It's what needed to happen to the White Dragon. It's what needed to happen for Peacemaker. It's what needed to happen for the show. That was really good. That was really smart. And, Harcourt taking the lead. Love it. It reminds me a little bit like, because the standard logic of this kind of story is, well, Peacemaker's your lead character. If the nominal head of the team is gone, your lead character slots into that. Peacemaker's the new leader, except that's a terrible idea on every possible level. Harcourt makes total sense. And it reminds me a little bit of how on Farscape, if you ever watch that or listen to the podcast that Jesse Gender and I do that's wrapping up soon, on that show, you would assume John Crichton, the one human being, would be put into a more of a leadership position, or like he is by default the person who is right when there's a disagreement, and he's not. He's not. Eventually, when a captain is chosen for Moya, for that ship, it's not him. Because, no, that's not a good idea. Just because he's the lead doesn't mean everything defaults to him, which unfortunately is the case most of the time. And it's nice to see that it isn't here. So that was good. I like that. I'm not going to lie. I choked up over Eagly. Not that I thought he was going to die. I didn't think they would be so foolish as to kill the eagle. But, seeing how choked up Peacemaker was about that, and to see the relief flood his face. John Cena acted that scene really, really well. To see the relief flood his face and to have Eagly hug him. Yeah, I choked up. I choked up over a CGI eagle that doesn't talk. I won't even apologize for that. It worked. I loved it. It's awesome. And is it just me, or did the cow look a bit like the giant monster from Monster vs. Aliens? Wait, does anyone remember Monster vs. Aliens? Is it just me? I never actually even watched it. I just remember that thing. I don't know. It looked like that to me. It's oddly, grossly cute, which, I mean, if it's an alien equivalent of a cow, oddly, grossly cute kind of sums up most barnyard animals. So, sure, why not? I liked the bonding scene between Adebayo and Harcourt. That was done very well. And yeah, we're just gearing up for the finale on this, and I'm pretty pumped. Also, I love Judo Master's things with snack foods, just in a little bit. I love it. I love it when he beats the crap out of those two guys, and he just looks back through the window into the convenience store, and the guy behind the cash register is like, yeah. Basically, that guy thought these two guys were complete jack-offs as well, and it was like, oh yeah, cool. Good. Nice. That was tiny touch, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. The action was not the most visually amazing, but the hits hurt, which is the main thing that I ask for action. Lots of little touches, as we tend to get with this show. Things I feel like the raccoon bit was a little bit of a Guardians of the Galaxy joke. And I like that there were all the scratches all over Chris. I'm going to be sad when this ends. This is really well done. Now, that's not me saying I hope it gets a second season. I'm not sure if I want it to. because, like, depending on how I feel with its final episode, it might end in a way that I'm like, I'm just really satisfied with this story. And part of me may always want more, but that doesn't mean I should necessarily be given more. Because that is, that's the balance that you're supposed to nail. Leave them wanting more. Not so desperate that it's like, it's not complete, it's not finished, what are you doing? But like, this is a complete experience, but I kind of want more. Yeah, I know you do. It means I did my job right. Doesn't mean it's a great idea to provide more, though. And I suspect that'll be my feeling when this ends, but this has been great. Oh, I need to note this before I forget. I am going to try and see next week's episode, the finale, pretty close to when it comes out, but I'm not going to get a review out until nearly a week later because I'm going to be in Los Angeles for Gallifrey 1. So between traveling there, the actual conference itself, and then traveling back, I'm going to be not able to record my thoughts right away. I should be able to see it, like, on my phone app, not the ideal way. No, actually, I could probably pull it up on my Chromebook. I'll watch it. I'll watch it pretty close to when it comes out, I don't doubt. So you don't have to worry about spoiling me, but review's going to be late. Just be aware of that. But what are your thoughts about this? Whatever they are, drop something down in the comments. Let us talk about it. Like, share, and subscribe all helps me out. Patreon's over there. That's how I pay my bills. That really, really helps me out. But don't worry too much about it. Take a relaxed attitude here, so come on back next time you need a break. Patreon shout-outs. Thank you to Turok, Shane Ross, Oliver B., Melinda Walters, Robin Powell, Chronobulax, the Poodle, Edelon, Tracy Scrabbit, Dharma Michael Doyle, Vincent Paul Bartolucci, Angry Caspero, Adam Lefty Taylor, Robin Moore, Shayla Gourlay, and Bookworm. You can support me as well. Hear me mispronounce your name. Sure, I got some of those wrong.